Chris Christie, the governor that the media would have us believe is a straight shooter, he always tells it like it is, he's going to refuse to answer an easy question here on CNBC. Weird, I thought he was a straight shooter. Now he's dodging questions left and right, and you're going to see he tries to dodge this question like he's Neo in the Matrix. He's like doing the backstroke thing and the bullets flying by him and whatnot. But also notice as you're listening here, he blatantly contradicts himself. It's kind of stunning just how big of a contradiction this is.
That part of that is the fault of the candidate. If you allow yourself to get bogged down, then you're going to get bogged down. The fact is that I'm the first pro-life governor in the history of the state of New Jersey.
You're pro-life, but you'd stay out of the, and states can...
But I'm pro-life. So you're saying the social issues bog you down. I'm pro-life, didn't bog me down.
Well, you want to take away the right to choose from women?
Because I took other issues like the ones you talked about, right. And that's what I spent most of my time talking about.
Do you think a Republican candidate should run on taking away the right to choose from women?
The Republican candidate should tell people what they feel on issues that people ask you about. If you get asked a question, answer it. That's all.
You're pro-life, but what would you do in terms of what we've been talking about this morning, just the ruling that came down from the Supreme Court yesterday? Was the Supreme Court right in its decision?
Who knows? Is the Supreme Court right? I mean, the fact is that when you're an executive, your Supreme Court makes a ruling and you got to live with it unless you can get the legislative body to change the law or change the Constitution. The point is like, why should I give an opinion on whether they're right or wrong? In the end of the day, they did what they did. That's now the law of the land, unless people in the elected branches try to change it. This is the way you get bogged down in those things. You know what? I don't think that's the most central issue that we need to talk about this morning when you look at the challenges that face our country.
Did you catch it? That's incredible. That's the thing about Chris Christie. He has a way of talking that makes people think, oh man, he really is a straight shooter. He's telling it like it is. Look, he's arrogant and forceful in his tone. Meanwhile, I wrote down quotes. He said early on, quote, if you get asked a question, answer it. Then they ask, well, do you think the Supreme Court was right in their decision yesterday? He said, quote, why should I give an opinion? You just said if you get asked a question, answer it. And then when they ask you a question, you said, why should I give an opinion? Chris, you are a joke. Now, let me explain to you why he's doing this, okay? He was told by his advisors, everybody in the country knows that Chris Christie wants to be the next president of the United States, okay? He wants it worse than anybody, except maybe Ted Cruz, okay? But they told him, his advisors told him, don't you dare give an opinion on the Hobby Lobby thing, because they read the polls. They read the polls and they realized, whoa, the American people across the board, in overwhelming numbers, use contraception, are fine with contraception. They like the Obama birth control provision, okay? They don't agree with Hobby Lobby. The American people on social issues are across the board liberal, okay? So his advisors told him, pump your brakes, son. All these other dumbass Republicans, they're going to step into the trap and do a victory lap and say, yeah, it's great. We get to tell women they can't take the pill. It makes us feel awesome. And, of course, the American people are going to recoil from that and go, whoa, what the fuck is wrong with you? It's the pill, dipshit. This isn't. Why should the business owner get involved with the individual, the female worker? That doesn't make any sense, right? So his advisors told him, don't talk about it. Don't alienate your base and say, you know, I'm with the liberals on this, and the women should be able to take the pill, and Hobby Lobby's wrong. So don't alienate your base, okay? But don't come out on the side of your base, who the American people largely disagree with now. So he can't give an opinion. So what does he have to do? He has to try to finesse his way and walk a tightrope. Oh, it's not an issue that we should talk about. I mean, this isn't social issues. It's nothing. Facing the country. I mean, we got other problems, yada, yada. He's pulling a Rick Perry. Remember the other week, Crossfire asked him? They were like, well, what do you think we should do in Iraq with the situation with ISIS? And he said, well, come on, I can't talk about that because then ISIS, they might hear it and then they're going to react accordingly. I mean, such a stupid point to make. I mean, you want to run for president of the United States and you're not going to tell us what your foreign policy is? Then why the fuck should we vote for you? That's one of the biggest reasons why we should consider you or not. Whatever your foreign policy is, we want to know where our tax dollars are going. But you're saying, sit down and shut up and vote for me anyway, even though I won't tell you the direction I want to take the country. That's what Chris Christie is doing here. social issues, smotional issues, abortion, schmabortion. I don't care about that. Pro-life, pro-choice, whatever. I'm both of them at the same time. What do you want me to do? I'm from New Jersey. I'm a straight shooter. Vote for me anyway because I talk arrogantly. You like that? Vote for me. I'm not going to tell you what I think, but you're going to vote for me anyway. Why should we vote for you if you do that, dipshit? And then meanwhile, Chris Christie's the biggest corrupt asshole in the country anyway. The guy literally shut down a bridge to get political payback for somebody that wouldn't endorse him. That's the whole Bridgegate scandal. He was selling off pieces of the building that collapsed on 9/11 to his political friends. He would give them that as a token of his appreciation if they supported him. The guy handed out Sandy money only to the people who helped him out, who helped him get elected and supported him. If you didn't support him in your district, if you got affected by Hurricane Sandy, you got less money than other places. There were some places that had very little damage, if any, that got more money than places that were destroyed. And it all has to do with if you supported Chris Christie politically or not. So he is just, he's the typical sleazeball politician. Try to say anything to appease everybody and get everybody to like you at the same time. He's not a fucking straight shooter. Straight shooter my ass. If he was a straight shooter, he wouldn't have said, quote, if you get asked a question, answer it. And then a few breaths later, was the Supreme Court right? Why should I give an opinion? Quote, why should I give an opinion? You make my job way too easy.